Bon matin. It is 10:33 right now. It is Friday, and I'm getting ready to go into the auditorium at the center where we are staying, and I will be presenting my dissertation. It's entitled The Underworld of Classical Voice, Growling Techniques Applied to Characterization in Acting. It's a demonstration, so the first 30 minutes will be a presentation on the metal culture, subculture, as well as imaging, fashions, and everything that really created metal and that makes metal music today as a genre. Also, how it developed, how it came about, who are the main influences.
I am in meetings,
Okay.
but I'm sending people to your presentation, Nick Lisasso. If I can, I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
But even if I'm not in person, do know because I'm in
Yes.
meetings
Yes.
that I am behind you, like I'm behind Giancarlo and everybody. You can get nervous. It's like Maria's home. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was my professor. She's our director as well as the vice president of this Congress, and she just wished me bon chance, which means good luck, and she says that she's behind me 110%. So I'm getting ready, I'm shaking out all the nerves, and I'm gonna throw them away, and I will be recording this for you guys to share with you later. So wish me luck. Aujourd'hui, je vais présenter en anglais, mais je peux parler un peu français. À la fin de cette démonstration, je réponds à toutes les questions. Je voudrais essayer de répondre à des questions qui sont faciles en français. Je voudrais maintenant passer à parler anglais. Welcome. I speak a little bit of French. I'm still trying to learn, but at the end of the presentation, I will take your questions, and if you feel inclined to speak in French, just plus lentement, s'il vous plaît. And welcome. My name is Megan Stratton. I am from the University of Buffalo. I have a communication degree in a concentration on music management and sound engineering, as well as a minor in music and a minor in theater, both performance. Today I will be presenting the Underworld of Classical Voice, Growling Techniques Applied to Characterization and Acting. To give you a brief little synopsis of how I'm going to run this lecture, I'm going to give you a nice little background, the genre known as metal, speaking more about the musicality, the introduction, and I'll introduce you to how metal came about, as well as the culture and subculture in the US currently, because that is where I have experienced it firsthand, was in the US. I'm going to then deter a little away from the men. Sorry, boys, it's not about you. But I will talk about the females and them coming up into this sort of masculine genre of music. And we'll go straight into a quick lesson of the classical voice, which I'm going to be talking about techniques which I have learned by doing the music performance minor, teaching you how to properly train, take care, and then make sure that your voice isn't harmed in the next process of vocal variations, which is growling in the sense of metal music. So I will be teaching you how to project and variate your voice safely so that there's no harm or less harm done to your voice. And then I'm going to ask you guys to be interactive with me so that we can learn this technique and then integrate it into the Stanislavski's method of characterization. And we begin. What is the genre known as metal? A couple pictures I have here. This is from a band entitled Gwar. We have Slipknot's drummer, which you can see the two bass drums, and he has a plethora of other things to bang on. Again, the Slipknot singer. They're infamous for having having this avant-garde persona on stage. They tend to be very theatrical. And with metal, you don't tend to think, oh, theater. But really, they want to put on a show. They want to make an impact so that you remember them, even if it's through costumes or lighting or masking. And to elaborate more on that, I'm going to go straight into image and fashion. The first statement identifying metal as an actual rock genre appeared in the Rolling Stone magazine. It was on May 11th, 1968, and it was by Barry Gifford. So he was the very first person to kind of say, this isn't normal rock and roll. This is a little more extravagant, a little more abrasive, and it will definitely grab your attention. And that's, I guess, the most important part is they want to make an impact on people. Again, this is the lead singer of War. As you can see, they are very, very, very theatrical. Again, on stage, they use their costumes to really entertain the crowd, and they do battles on stage, and it's all very theatrical. Going back to the violence, we tend to, as a human society, really pay more attention to something that's deviant from the norm. So the violent spraying blood all over the audience and doing battles on stage. It's really more for entertainment. We have the cornet, which is also known as your devil horns, which has been made very, very popular in the metal genre. You always tend to see in the crowd their expression of love coming forward. Yes, exactly, Katie, just like that. Coming forward and expressing this language of gesture, letting actual musicians saying, hey, I appreciate you, I love what you're doing, I understand. This is known throughout the world. Metal isn't just about the music. It really focuses, you need good stage lighting, you need something extra that can shock the audience, send a wave of excitement. And ways that they do that is using pyrotechnics, using lighting, using costumes, using makeup and masks. The audience always responds. They engage in these ritual-type stage diving where they are pulled up onto stage, they embrace and share a moment of celebration through dance, through a headbang, through whatever they want to do on stage, and then they look into the crowd and jump right on. And this is known as crowd surfing. So they'll travel on top and people will throw them overhead. The next person comes, throws them over your head. There's a saying that goes like this: they mosh unaware of their own might. And you need to be the one, if you're the singer or the performer on stage, to really help them move, to help them get going, to make them go. So I have a couple videos. This is what we call the wall of death, and it is the wall of death. What they do, excuse me, I'm sorry. What they do is they split the crowd in half. So the singer will be like, it's time for the wall of death, and everybody splits in half, and they're facing each other. And they'll say, we will give you the cue with our music for you to go and run at each other. Yeah. Me personally, I do not do a wall of death because I am too small. I will get trampled and I will get very hurt. But if you're aware of what they're doing, some people are crazy. They stand in the middle. You'll see. But we're going to have a couple different videos to express this. So right now they're split in two. You have that intro, that beat, and here comes the build. Here comes the build. They're building up. They're ready for it, and they run. So